What's up, guys? So before we get the review going, man, just a big shout out to Vanga QB56 for helping me get the review done a bit faster. So here we go. Michael Egnew, campus hero, 95 overall, short pass style, 6'5", 92 speed, 75 strength, 86 release, 97 spectacular, 95 catch in traffic, 92 catch, 78 run block, and 88 route running. Also has a 78 truck, a 82 juke, a 77 spin. So mildly effective after the run, but not too explosive. Now, the main reason I wanted to pick him up was because of that 97 spectacular catch. Mike Wallace also has a 97 spectacular. And when I say Mike Wallace deep, man, he is almost guaranteed to get you maybe 2, maybe even 3 spectacular catches. You know, those crazy one-handed, those animations. So I was hoping that Michael Egnew could do something very similar. So anyways, man, enough about the stats. Let me show you what he did on the field. So when I picked up Michael Egnew, I knew right away that I was going to be comparing him to Mike Wallace, mainly because of that 97 spectacular. That's what most guys were thinking, that he would be able to pull off those crazy animations like Mike Wallace does. But we'll get to that part later. Right here, his catching in traffic was okay. Basically everything he did was okay. Route running, catching traffic, deep ball, everything. And that's not that great, for a 95 overall tight end. You would think that he would play better than that. But as you can see here, route running, just okay. It was hard to pull off these curls and outs. Drags, slants, and streaks were better, like right here, especially if you're man-to-man with a linebacker. That's just an obvious a wide open pass. But right here, drags, if you just want to get him for his speed, just use drags and streaks, and slants. That's really about it. But oh, this right here, deep passes, I threw to him deep about maybe 20 times, and he only caught like maybe 9 of them, which is not a great percentage. Like I said, he just did everything okay. And like I said earlier, the Mike Wallace comparison, Mike Wallace just pulls off those spectacular catches maybe 2 or 3 times a game. And I was hoping that Michael Egnew, because he's taller and he just pretty much matches Mike Wallace on paper, this right here was the only spectacular catch I pulled off out of like 25 attempts, which is just not that great. So he definitely let me down there. As you can see here, this is why I did not like throwing to him in traffic, whether it was deep, across the middle, even drags. I did not like throwing in traffic. I already knew that it was just not going to be that great. So in my opinion, if you see that someone's like right on his ass, I don't recommend throwing to him, in my opinion at least. And look at this right here. This was crazy. Nobody even touches him, and he drops the ball because he makes contact with the ground. I could not believe that. That pretty much told me everything I needed to know. This right here, drops a wide open pass again. So I definitely do not recommend buying him at his current price. But this right here is the best way to use him. Throw the ball high when he gets behind linebackers like this right here. If these were like regular thrown bullets, they most likely would have got picked off or even swatted down. But because he's 6'5", just throw the ball high. Don't give him a chance to swat it down, and you'll have much more success. So this is how I say to use Michael Egnew if you pick him up. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be the end of this review. My final thoughts: do I think he's worth 50,000? I feel like maybe he's worth 25 to 30. And if you just want him because of his speed, then I would just say go for Ladarius Green. So much cheaper. Now, the reason I'm comparing him to Mike Wallace is because on paper, it doesn't make sense to me. I can't really figure it out. They have the same catch, the same spectacular, the same jump. Egnew has better catch in traffic. He's obviously way taller, 6'5", compared to 6 foot. But yet Mike Wallace is able to trigger those animations so effortless. So I'm not sure why that is. I could not figure it out. So if you're just if you want to pick up Egnew because you're hoping for that spectacular catch, a rating to kick in, I would not recommend it. I guess technically if that's what you want, you probably have better luck with Mike Wallace. So anyways, guys, that's gonna be the end of that, man. My next review is gonna be that new Ryan Tannehill that just came out, mostly because I'm just biased. I mean, when that card dropped, I picked him up that same day, so I knew right away I was gonna do a review for him. So anyways, guys, that's gonna be the end of that. Oh, also on defense, it's gonna be these Carlos Rogers Campus Hero. That one should be coming out tomorrow most likely. So anyways, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see y'all boys tomorrow. Peace.